Tiffany will be joining us tonight. Good job, Kelly. Good job remembering. We we are recording tonight. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Bobby Burke. I'm the chair of the membership committee for District 6420. And we're glad to have those of you that could be here tonight joining us. I realize there are a lot of other things going on this time of year. One of the speakers, Betty Clements, that I was hoping to have be on the Zoom tonight, is actually attending the homecoming parade as an alumni for the Rock Falls Rotary Club. So I'll be sharing some information she gave me. But right now, I would like to have the membership chair introduce themselves, starting with Kelly Doty. Just your name and what club you're from.
Okay. Good evening. So my name is Kelly Doty. I'm from the River Cities Rotary Club, which is Hampton, Rapid City, Port Byron, Cordova, Hillsdale. So just north of the Quad Cities.
And she is formerly the chair of the membership committee, but she had to step down this year because she's district trainer. So I'm not sure if that's a promotion or a demotion. John, would you introduce yourself? Oops.
John Hurley, the immediate past district governor. I'm on the district membership committee, and I'm also the membership chair for my home club, Loves Park.
Great. And John has an event planned for later in the month that will be promoting membership in his club. So maybe at some point he can share with us how that went and if other clubs can use it to help promote membership and new members in their club. Tiffany, the members of the committee are just introducing themselves right now. So Tiffany just came on and I'll have her introduce herself and what club you're from.
Sure. Hi, I am Tiffany Stott. I'm with the Twin Rivers Rotary After Hours Club, and have been on the committee, I think 2 years, maybe.
Maybe longer.
Maybe long, two or 3 years. It goes by fast.
Yeah. So that's us. We're small, but hopefully we're going to be mighty this year. And the first speaker I'd like to have talk to us tonight is our very own district governor, Melissa McCormick, and she's going to talk to us about the new club initiative and how she sees the goals for the membership committee and how she sees our district growing this year.
Yeah,
Melissa?
thank you. Yeah, thanks, Bobby. So, really simple, and hopefully, when the leadership team put together the goals, the membership goals for this year, actually the goals for the entire district, so all revolve around membership, right? We have one job to do. If you're a president-elect, now president, you know that that's my mantra, and that job is to increase membership. Nothing earth-shattering. And so in order to do that, we've got a couple initiatives out. One being asking each club to, by June 30th, add one net new member. That gives us 42 new members in the district. And we all know that as we add new members, then that allows for more donations to the foundation. With more hands, we can do more good. And so that's where the ownership or the goal for the clubs are. On the district side of it, where we can help impact our membership is on our new club initiatives. And so that is what areas, I mean, it could go a couple different ways, but really I've kind of charged Bobby and the membership committee with what areas in our district, what communities are not being served that either maybe they had a Rotary Club in the past and it dissolved for whatever reason. How do we reinvigorate that? Or is there a community in the in the district that needs our help and would really benefit from Rotarians working together, building businesses and building good, uniting for good, to use our mantra for the year. So those are the two big initiatives, one on the club level and the other one being from the district level. And that's where the focus that Bobby and the committee have, in addition to helping clubs with engaging and retaining members. Because remember, it's one net new member. So if you got three out, you better have four coming in. So it's kind of that's kind of the idea. So yeah, that's where we are. Bobby, anything else? Did I miss anything? You're muted. You're still muted. Can I hear you?
I do that
There
every
you go.
single time.
There you go.
I just wanted to share the information that I shared with leadership, that our membership for the district as of September 15th, I didn't check it today, is at 1304, and that is a +5 from July 1. So we're doing it. We're doing it. We just have to keep going. And we have some clubs that have just recorded spectacular growth since July 1st. And we'll talk about them in the section under successful membership strategies. So right now, I'd like to talk about potential areas for new Rotary clubs. And we have several of these opportunities in our district this year. Two of them are clubs that have recently just folded because they were just getting stagnant and not gaining any traction. And the one or two members that were really fighting for those clubs just got tired. And there comes a time when a club may just dissolve. It may just, peter out, for lack of a better term. There must be a technical term for that. But one of those areas that during my district governor year, this happened to the Milan Club. And for each of these areas that are listed in your agenda, we do have champions for those areas that I'll be working closely with, and the membership committee will be working with. But right now, Dave Emmerich has been working hard in the Milan area. And so I just want to have Dave talk for a minute or two about what he's doing there. Are you there, Dave?
Yes, I am, and I apologize. I'll be off the video. I am on my way home, and once I get settled and I can put on video, I will do that. So the Milan Club. Milan, Illinois is a community of about 6,500 people. The name of the club was really the Milan Area Rotary Club, because not only did they tap into Milan, they tapped into some smaller communities surrounding Milan. I believe when they closed, which was during the pandemic, which was due to 3 members passing away, 2 of those 3 members were pretty key to the club's active status. It was a small club. It was a club that was around about 32, 33 years. So we've kind of identified that, Milan, for those familiar with the Quad Cities, which is probably a lot of people, if not everybody on the call, it's a part of the Quad Cities. We have about 5 clubs in the Quad Cities. Get Milan back in the fold, that'd be 6. And I truly think Milan, Illinois can sustain a Rotary Club, because what happened in Milan when they shut down was some certain projects and sponsorships got halted and not really picked up. And I think we can try to get them back somehow. But before we do that, we really got to kind of rebuild the club. So I reached out to a couple members who I know personally that were in that club. One of them, I think, would have a willingness to make some contacts with people, but is not committed to wanting to be maybe an active member or one of the quote unquote 15, because that's our magical number, correct? 15 to charter now. And the other club member is very willing to be one of the 15 and will reach out to some folks. He was very active in the club. So we're trying to put a short list together of, the target list of 15. We'll certainly take more. And we got about 5 people on that list right now, 3 of which I believe will join. 2 have a little interest, but they want to learn more. The 2 things that are going to be key is where they meet and what time they meet. It was an older club. It was a mature club in the sense of age of its members. And hopefully we can kind of get a little bit more youth back in that club, if you will. But the history is still there with those members. So we're going to reach out to them. We're going to, Bobby's going to get some information on an event that we can look to have, and with some funding, and try to have like an open house and start bringing some people, getting some interest, and to bring the club back. I was able today to secure their banner, their bell, and all the supplies that they had in the storage. So we will have all that. Kind of a nice start, and to me, I take that as a very positive sign, a good omen.
Dave,
yes.
Do you happen to know, is there a list of community service projects that the community benefited from when the club was active that, as you've said before, without Rotary, all of these things would not have happened.
Right.
I think that's powerful.
Yes. No, I don't have that list, but I'm hoping some of the old former members would, have that. So that'd definitely be one thing we could try to get.
Right. I bet it wouldn't be too hard to get it if, the right people were looking for it. But, when you talk to people, if they're at all interested in service and you tell them, well, this is what was done.
Right.
And now this stuff isn't getting done because there's no Rotary.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that maybe that's our approach with getting people back on. Hey, these are proven programs. All we need is a little help in getting them back going again. And poof, before you know it, you got service projects and you got fundraisers.
Right.
Right.
Good luck with that, Dave.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks. Well, gonna need help, from folks. And I know the committee's willing to do that. And but that's where we're at. And Bobby, I know we'll talk more at Zone when you learn more about some potential financial support and how we can make that happen.
Absolutely. And what Dave's talking about is that membership is not just a problem in District 6420. It is across the board around the world. So Rotary International for years has, been pushing gaining new members, but they're willing to put some money behind it. And there are funds available for us to host new member events and for Rotary clubs to do things to encourage their members and do things with public image and with branding. So I will send out an email as soon as Melissa and I hash out how we're going to spend this money this year. But there is, from Rotary International, there's $1,000 available to promote new clubs and new prospective members, hosting a prospective member event. And there's $500 available at the club level for clubs to do what they think they need to do to print a brochure or to buy promotional materials, or it's pretty wide open. And then not only that, if you have an idea that is above and beyond what Rotary International has anticipated, you can apply for a grant from them. So they are willing to support us, and we are determined to not let that money go to waste this year. So we'll use it to hold events in Milan for sure. Hopefully Byron is another area that their club just, I think in the last year or so. So there are still a lot of those members around, but they were just having some problems with continuity and places to meet and things like that. So people not wanting to step up into leadership positions. And so we're going to start working with Byron and see if we can pull them back around. One of the other suggestions was to have a club that is for Rotary Youth Exchange alumni. This will most likely be an international club because obviously our exchange students have been from all over the world, and this will be an online club mostly. So I'm looking forward to working on that, but I think it has great potential. There is a community Rotaract club in the Sycamore area, but there should be more Rotaract clubs in our district to allow younger people that are maybe college age, out of high school, but not, in a position to join a Rotary club. We should be able to have some more Rotaract clubs to support that demographic. And a long time ago, this was, gosh, I just barely remember, we had a club in the Harvard area that actually, when the Byron Club started, the Harvard Club donated their bell and maybe their flag and a banner and maybe a portrait of Paul Harris when the Byron Club started. So we'll have to find where that is, and we should be able to find, because it hasn't been that long. So, but good job, Dave, on finding the Milan, all the Milan regalia, because that will be that will help. I think that will help them get some movement going.
Right.
So those are the opportunities that we have identified. And if any of you have more ideas, we're happy to hear them and happy to listen to potential. Probably all these clubs aren't going to get started this year. It takes time sometimes to get the ball rolling. But it's just to illustrate how much potential there is for new members. I know when I was district governor and we were trying to start new clubs, I heard a lot of complaints from existing clubs that we're having trouble attracting members to our own club. So why would we want to start a new club? Well, it's about making Rotary available to everyone. So maybe someone can't come to your club meeting at noon, but they could go to a breakfast club. So, it's just about different opportunities and different availability. Any questions, comments? I'm excited. I'm excited about the potential for growth in our district this year. So one of the clubs in our district, the Rock Falls Rotary Club, has had a 14% growth since July 1st. And I don't know what that translates to in number of members. I think Betty said maybe five new members. And I really wanted her to share how that happened, because that is spectacular. But she was willing to share with me, and she sent me she sent me a description of what they did and several attachments that I will be happy to make available to any of you. Betty said she would be happy to talk to anyone. But here's what they did. And if you have any questions or comments at any point, if your club is doing similar things, we'd love to hear about that right now. But they started the Rock Falls Club started 3 years ago, having an open house in the spring. They hosted an open house to explain what Rotary is with no strings attached, is what Betty said. Just an informational meeting. It was held in the spring at a local restaurant. The club provided hot and cold hors d'oeuvres. And it was at the Candlelight Inn in Sterling. If anyone knows that restaurant, it's a really fun place to go. Hot and cold hors d'oeuvres and soft drinks were free of charge from 5 to 7. And the members are asked to invite people who they think would make good Rotarians. The club picks up the tab for the food and beverage. Many of the members offer to pay for alcoholic drinks of their guests. And the first year they did it, they had like 5 guests. The second year, they had 8 to 10. And the past year, they had 15 who came to hear the program. But she said the key is the commitment of your members to invite a guest or guests, because you can have the most brilliant event in the world promoting Rotary, but if nobody new is there to hear about it, you just preach into the choir. So several of the people that attended this year had attended in previous years, so they remembered it as a good event, but they just weren't in a place in their lives at that time to join. So she said that's one of the considerations that you need to make is, it has to be the right time in a person's life to join a Rotary Club. And she said, and I really liked this analogy she used, she said that the effort to attract new members is like planting a seed. You plant a seed. That first year, they planted the seed with some of those people. And then you have to nurture the seed and you have to water it and tend it. And, stay in touch with the people that attended. And then finally you harvest your crop or you reap, your reward from the effort. So, the Rotary members are all there. They wear their badges. They're very identifiable and willing to talk about the programs they've had. She said they focus on the areas of focus, and they talk about their service projects that they do around those areas of interest. And so the third year apparently was the magic number, and they just have had a lot of new members as a result of this event. And we did the same thing when I was in the Rochelle Club. We had an event like this. The Rochelle Club was probably about 60 people. We had an event like this and had just information. We didn't really have a program. We had information around the room from all of our service projects and things we did in the community. And we got 7 new members from that one event. So it works. It can happen. Steve, what has your club done? Have you done anything like a new member event? Oops, you're muted.
No, we haven't specifically done that. What we've been trying to do is encourage members to introduce, just think about somebody who you think would be a good Rotarian, bring them to the meeting, to one of the weekly meetings, and cultivate them. And it's actually this year so far, this Rotary year, in a few weeks, we will have 2 more new members. So we'll up 4 new members in one drop. So we'll be up +3 here by the end of October, we hope. But I think to me, it's more of the members need to be proactive in going out and finding members. And it can't just fall on the president or the board. It's got to be, everybody needs to take responsibility.
Yes, I agree. Everyone in the club is on the membership committee. They all need to
Yeah.
understand that from the minute they join the club. Just like everybody in the district is on the district membership committee. So we're hoping to make it be a little more visible, make a little more noise this year and get people excited. Um, Anyone else? Joe or Jean, I see you're on. Does your club have any successful membership strategies?
Well, I'll chime in only because I'm in Steve's club. I am the membership chair and Steve's the president. So
So
we have been
Princeton is in the house.
yeah, we've been talking about some creative ways to engage members that one of the things that we've discovered in some of our meetings is that it is difficult to get people, especially younger entrepreneurs, who are able to make the time to be able to come to a noon meeting, a breakfast meeting. It wouldn't really matter the time, and so we're trying to do something like engaging them on their turf, making them realize like, hey, we are willing to expand the boundaries of what we've always normally been rigid about, and open up space for you to engage. And so even like the fact that we're doing a Zoom meeting right now, we are working on ways right now to start incorporating that into our club, electronic payment options, make it more obvious that we are willing to move into the 21st century in some of these ways that we just haven't yet.
Right.
But with that, I like what you're talking about, Bobby, with the like, hey, let's do something to engage the prospective members a little bit more and draw them in. And when they come in, they realize like, hey, we have a place for you. It may not look the same as everybody else, but we have a place for you. And so that's what we're really trying to do, is open up those doors and avenues in a creative way.
Exactly. And I can tell you, and this may work for the Princeton Club too. I can tell you one of the other things the Rock Falls Club did was restructure their fee schedule. So the first year you are a member, you pay zero dues. The club picks up their district dues and their Rotary International dues, and they just pay for meals when they have them. The Rock Island Club, I mean the Rock Falls Club doesn't have meals every week anymore or every other week. So um, there's very low cost for going. And really, that removes a lot of objections that people have. Oh, I can't afford it, and I just can't afford to join Rotary. My company won't pay for it. So I think probably the Princeton Club could handle that kind of expense because they're big enough to cover it, maybe. So that's something to think about. And then the second year, the new member pays a percentage, and they aren't paying the full dues until their third year. And hopefully by that time, they're sold on Rotary enough to see its value and not complain about having to pay the dues. So that's one of the other things that the Rock
You know,
Falls Club did.
Bobby, I think that's a really good point, especially if you're targeting entrepreneurs. That's an extra expense. So I think that's a great way to do it. The other way too is I'm wearing this shirt, Rotary Means Business Fellowship, on purpose tonight, because maybe when I've gone around to the different clubs, one of the challenges that we're having to get people to come to a meeting is that the business people are saying there's no real value for me. Like, I really want to grow my business, and I used to be able to do that through Rotary, and now I'm not. So, they're questioning whether they want to renew or not. And so, if we could help those entrepreneurs get connections and build their businesses through Rotary, I think that will be really positive. So, if you're interested, Joe or Steve, in joining this wonderful fellowship committee, I really want to get it kicked off sometime this year.
Another thing to think about, Bobby and Melissa, maybe you've already thought about this, Steve, Joe, but think about a family plan. They say Rotary's biggest competitor is life. And maybe there's a way we can make it more appealing to prospective members if they don't have to give up something in their family life because the spouse or the adult child or both uh, can be a part of the club experience.
Yeah, that was an unheard of thing when I joined Rotary. In fact, it was against the bylaws for the husband and wife to belong to the same Rotary club. And I don't know if that was Rotary International bylaws or just my Rotary Club bylaws, but I know several cases where the wife would belong to one club in a nearby community and the husband would belong to another club. And really, it wasn't until, gosh, I'd probably been in Rotary for 20 or 25 years before husband and wife teams started joining the same club before it was okay to do that. So yeah, that is a thought because I know a lot of couples like to work together, like to do service projects together. So that's a thought.
Well, can I
Um,
speak real quick, Bobby, about
Absolutely, Joe.
so Melissa, you mentioned entrepreneurs targeting them. I think more than that, we're trying to target a younger demographic, which includes younger entrepreneurs, but also younger parents. Because me, myself, I've got a 6-year-old in the other room reading a book that I'd be loving to read to her right now. Like so trying to make space for that as well. And I've actually included my boys in service projects that we've done. Steve can attest to this. He's seen my son at different service projects, and I make sure that they're not doing a great job, but they're there and they're learning what it means to serve the community. So I love that idea of incorporating family into it. That's something I think that's worth considering and bringing that to be a part of it too.
Hey,
Great.
Bobby,
Yes,
uh,
Dave.
can I, um, not devil's advocate, but just as a proponent of Rotary, I can't imagine doing my job right now. And I'm a vice president, commercial loan officer, a local community bank, without Rotary being part of what I do. Just today, and I do this a lot, I tell a customer who belongs to Rotary, just bring it to Rotary, bring it to Rotary, bring it to Rotary, bring it to Rotary. I closed a loan and I got some organic documents on opening an account just today at Rotary.
Wow.
I mean, it is just it's just you're going to be there every week. Our club meets weekly. And I, I mean this, I don't know how to put this in a testimonial to some degree, but I can't imagine, um, yes, we're busy. I'm busy, but with Rotary being a part of what I do every week, it makes my job a little easier. Um, so I just, uh, I echo what Melissa's saying about Rotary means business. But it's also, and I'm not trying to be contrary with anybody tonight on the call, but when I started Rotary 23 years ago, it's a little bit of a help yourself club too, right? I had to go up and introduce myself to people. I wanted to do that, and they might have not been a customer, but I wanted them to know that I'm available if they ever would need something that their current bank couldn't do. And 23 years later, more gray hair in my temples, I'm doing business with those people. I'm not saying that interaction did it, but it's the constant seeing that person each week, breaking bread with that person, going to a social with that person. They get a comfort level with you. And I'm talking purely the business side. And so Rotary is so much more than just the business, but it's a big part of it because we're really a professional organization. So I'm probably not saying it right, but I can't imagine my job today, um, a piece of what I do today, without Rotary in it. Rotary has been a big part of my book of business and my interaction with my customers.
There you go, Melissa. There's your poster child for
No,
Rotary Means Business.
Well said. Well said. In fact, I'm thinking when we get the transcript to this whole Zoom thing, we're taking that piece. Yeah.
please
Thanks,
modify.
Dave.
Please modify.
No, it came from your heart. And what the other thing that I love about it too, David, is that yes, it's about business, but Rotary is part of your DNA. Like you
Absolutely.
incorporated. So to Joe's point about combining family, that makes it so there isn't a priority, right? Right now, he's making a priority. He's having to prioritize Rotary over reading his book to his, the book to his
Yep.
6-year-old.
Yep.
So being able to bring those together, I think, is super important so that we don't have to make that choice. And that's the other message that I heard you say.
That's what I meant to convey. Yes. Yep.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I had another topic I wanted to put on the agenda tonight. We can have a discussion about it if anybody wants to, but it will definitely be in our next Zoom. We will have a discussion of corporate memberships and how clubs do that. But as I was researching that, I really felt like every club kind of has their own way of doing it, and there were no guidelines from Rotary International. So I'm hoping to get smarter about corporate memberships and have some people that do them be able to talk about them on our next Zoom. And I know, Steve, you said that the Princeton Club does them. Um, and we have some time. Would you just want to recap that a little bit so we can start the discussion?
Sure. Our club started a corporate membership probably 10 years ago, maybe, as a way to encourage business leaders who had problems attending or commitment to attend. We started this concept of a corporate membership where the business owner or the executive would be the Rotarian, but there would be up to three corporate auxiliary members, and we charge the corporation like a flat fee, and then if a corporate auxiliary member attended, the lead Rotarian got credit for attendance. So it was a way to get some new executives into the club and meet the attendance requirement. Of course, now we don't have an attendance requirement, but the biggest issue we've had, it's been somewhat successful. It hasn't worked for every corporation, but the biggest thing we struggle with is that these corporate auxiliary members, some of them have been turned out to be great members of our club, and Rotary doesn't even know they exist. Some of them have even become Paul Harris Fellows. So we've had some discussion when we did our strategic plan about, how do we, do we want to do anything about it? How do the existing corporate members feel about making changes? Is it important to the auxiliary members to be a official Rotarian? I don't know. So we're looking to steal some ideas from other clubs who have maybe been doing it too and have a different way of doing it. I don't see us changing it anytime soon, but we'd like to figure out some way to elevate auxiliary members who are performing extremely well. They're at every community service project. They're involved in our fundraising. They're making contributions to the Rotary Foundation. They're Polio Plus Society members, but they're not recognized by Rotary. They don't even get the magazine. And to me, that's kind of sad. So we may have created a monster by what we did, and we probably have 20 auxiliary members in our club that are not figured into the totals at Rotary.
Yeah.
So if we show 45
yeah.
members, we actually got 65.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the Rock Falls Club has a corporate membership, and I was looking through Betty's notes, and I didn't see how they structure that. I know the Rockford Club, I think they charge for 2 members for a corporate membership. But everybody does it a little differently. So hopefully we can come up with a guideline that can help clubs figure it out. And that's part of the problem with corporate memberships is that most clubs don't know how to do them, so we don't offer them. So we're kind of losing members, I think, that way.
Well, and it
Yeah.
feels like we're taking a round peg and putting it in a square hole, and it's because of the platform that we have to use to register them and to
Right.
track them. So there has to I come from a mindset where the system or the computer should not determine the policy or how we do things. So how do we fix, the policy or the procedure so that we can accept these folks and get them recognized? Yeah. So there has to be a way.
And another issue we have is that none of them can be an officer in the club
Hmm.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
because they're not an official Rotarian. There's a handful of them that would be great leaders, great presidents, and we can't do it.
But they don't pay dues, right?
The business pays a flat fee, and they're
Right.
all
Okay.
incorporated. The auxiliary member does not pay anything out of their pocket.
Gotcha.
Hmm. Yeah, I think
Let's,
that's a problem we can address. But it's possible that at some point they just may need to decide they want to be a member, a
Right.
full-fledged member,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
uh,
And maybe that's what we need to do is sit down and talk to all of them and see how they view it.
Yeah, and speaking to kind of what was Steve, I mean, he's right. We do have so many people that who are a part of these organizations, but because they're not listed as the primary contact, that kind of leaves them out,
right,
in that sense. So even though they're a part of it, and they're the auxiliary, really they should be the one getting credit because they're the one that's there, and so that's kind of a monster that we've talked about this a bit, even when I was president. This is something that we ran into quite a bit. How do we handle this? Can we shift and rotate the people who are kind of the lead on it, I guess, as it were? Because I know we got one who's going to be joining us, one of those four, and who's a part of a corporate auxiliary, and she eventually wants to be part of boards and things like that. And but as it is right now, we may have to restructure them so that she can, because I know that the business owners, they want to be Rotarians, but without, they want to send somebody to kind of represent on their behalf. And so that's just part of I think what we're running into a little bit.
right.
Yeah.
so if
Well,
can I ask a question, Bobby?
sure.
So Joe and Steve, is it maybe a case of, how do I want to say this? Do you have the right person as the primary for that entity? If you've got a person representing company ABC who you're saying would make a great officer, but they can't because they're auxiliary corporate member.
I think, and Dave, I think in what Joe was just talking about, if I thinking about the same company, you're right. But in other instances, you're not right. I mean, the lead member, well, Tracy Wright, who's our club secretary and the district secretary, she has a corporate membership. She's the lead member, and her three auxiliary members are very active in the club.
No, I get it. It's going to be
So it's not,
not
it's
going to fit for
every
everybody.
one of them is different.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and
that
maybe
one's unique.
Yeah.
maybe this
Yeah.
is the time where you say you change your fee structure, your dues structure, because those people are invested, and you say, what if you become a full member and we don't charge you for the first year? The club picks up your dues, as kind of a thank you for the service that you've
Uh,
done and gone unrecognized all this time, I
yeah.
mean, maybe that would be enough to get them to become members.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good thought. That's something we haven't talked about or thought about, but has some merit for discussion.
My guess is that somewhere, somebody, some club or district has really handled this in a great way.
Yeah.
So my point is, when you guys go to zone, you know, ask around,
I
find out,
intend to.
find out. Every time you sit down at a meal or a happy hour or whatever, say, we're struggling a little bit with corporate memberships. What works for you guys in your clubs and in your districts?
It's on my list of questions to ask. So,
Great.
all right. Well, I don't have anything else for us to talk about tonight unless anybody has any questions or thoughts. I think we'll just adjourn for tonight. It's been recorded. So if you know somebody that you think could benefit from this membership Zoom, the discussion we've had, then by all means, yes, Melissa.
Do you want me to put it up on the YouTube channel?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So
Sure.
then, I mean, you can send out the link or whatever, but I can have it up there so it's public and then anybody can watch it at any time.
There we go. That's a thought. And look at us being so technical. And definitely we will have probably quarterly district membership Zooms. If you have any questions, please reach out to me or the membership committee or Melissa, and she'll get me involved. So we are here to help our clubs grow, and we're excited about it. So
Have you
Thanks.
scheduled the next meeting of this?
I don't have a date right now.
Okay.
It gets complicated. So I'm
Thank you,
thinking
Bobby, for leading this.
probably January-ish. Probably we'll get past the holidays and we'll get something on the books as soon as I get back from zone. We'll work on that at our next district membership meeting. We'll pick a date and get it out there as soon as we can. Okay. Thank you all for being with us tonight and for all of your input, and see you next time.
All right.
See you, Bobby.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Steve. You're welcome,
Yeah,
Melissa.
thank
Thank you.
Bye-bye.